get clever, you need it, you have Etsy as one platform. If you can get really great with that, then you can diversify into Shopify and get really great with that. Because Shopify is great if you can build long-term brands, like your licorice brand, right? That makes sense because you've got returning customers, people know the brand, they love the brand.
It's like 85% returning.
If you did an email blast on Black Friday, you'll make 90 grand, 100 grand. That's the value in Shopify, but you need to create that value. And a lot of people don't have that long-term thinking. They're trying to run up a product. It's like, can you turn that product into a brand or have that product on a website that people associate with your brand, if that makes sense? And like, that's a different level of thinking, and it also requires a different type of person, like a different business mindset.
You need a lot more skills to actually create a brand. Like, it's very difficult to create a brand. I think it's
real hard.
Very rare for a complete and utter beginner to come and just create a brand and really figure out and really stick with it.
I tried twice. I did a clothing label when I was in my early 20s.
I knew you'd say clothing label.
My fucking 60 grand. Fucked it up, bro. It was silly because like back then I had literally no idea what I was doing, and I just was like kept throwing money at it because I was making money. It was a Sparky back in my early 20s, and I was making good cash, and I just threw money at this thing. People took me for a ride, suppliers, people like. I went to this design studio to do patterns. They charged me like 7 grand. I was like, fuck, I could have done that. But I didn't know, man. I think I'm trying to figure it out, because like this is also what I think is kind of cool about nowadays is like a kid 16, when I was like that age, I didn't have that much access to the information that you can get today. Like you can literally get a blueprint on how to do things today. So, and I think that's why kids are able to do it a lot quicker than, Jesus money.
Yeah, like it's crazy, and so many people go down the branding route, and I think it's such a bad route for literally everyone. Someone again today messaged me like, should I do a Shopify brand or should I start with Etsy? I'm like, bro, honestly, start with Etsy, please. Just like get an understanding of it,
100%.
And it's not going to cost you much money. It's very low risk from like a time point of view,
super low risk,
and from like a money point of view, like pure cash point of view, it's very low risk. And then you'll at least gain a bit of an understanding and be like, okay, this is a bit of a challenge here. Like, okay, Shopify branding is way difficult than this.
I mean, there's so many. You got to be able to build a brand. Then there's like the Facebook advertising piece. Then there's the email piece. Then there's the social piece. Then there's the supply and logistics. Like you've got to understand all that. And like Etsy's perfect because it does teach you a lot of that, like without the hassle of the building the brand piece almost. And the, even the advertising piece, you just press the button and off
press the button, it's gone. Yeah, like I always think it's best to start with kind of Etsy. Like if you want to get into the e-commerce world, I think it's best to start with Etsy, something that's relatively simple to get in. At least get like a few hundred sales under your belt. You get an understanding what works, what doesn't work, and then if you want to use that kind of recurring profit that you're bringing in every single month and use that money as a testing budget to put into those brands, rather than obviously putting a lot of savings or putting a lot of money into a brand when you're not making any money. Especially with like clothing and watch brands. I see when there's so many people who do this. So many people start a watch brand, like it may work, but it's such a small percentage. You really got to hit an angle. You've really got to know what you're doing, and it's an element of luck, like it's timing, stuff like this. Like
the way I think about it is like use Etsy to build up your skills where you become a pretty formidable business person, and then when you launch into the brand, not only do you have an understanding of what products might sell versus what others, you've also probably got a team behind you that can help, that you can leverage with. One, just fulfillment and logistics. Two, someone might be great with media buying, so you can get the new media buying. We've already got your customer service team in place. Like these key things which you wouldn't have had any fucking idea about, jumping straight into Shopify, you now have at least an understanding. So when you do something like that, you've got some structure in place.
You've got a base level of knowledge, and you can kind of build upon that at least. And
exactly.
At least you've got money coming in then. Like, and you don't
have
to.
Then you can pay people like, hey, you run $1 million Shopify brand. He's like, I do mentorship. Great, how much? 20 grand. Here you go.
Okay, here you go. Like, let's figure it out kind of thing. Yeah, like, so much better.